All right, gonna give my final review on the Motorguide Tour Pro. It was an 80-pound thrust, 24 volt, 82-pound thrust, I think. This may not completely match my positive reviews from earlier, but this is about the 3-month review. Got an email from Motorguide, or Mercury actually, that said there was a national recall on the pinpoint GPS system. Effective immediately, do not use. So I had never had it mess up, and they said what it would do was the spot lock or anchor lock would just kind of go crazy. Literally the day I got the email, went fishing, it did just that. You could use the spot lock, but when you would hit the button to make it stop, it would stop the motor from turning, but the transmission would not release the pedal. So the pedal was literally stuck in place, wherever it was at. So in order to do it, you had to stow it and put it back down. You know, stow it and then redeploy it to get it to work again. Well, I fought that and fished with it for a day or two. And then I came home one day, it's stowed on the in the driveway. It is literally trying to turn. It's on its own while it's off. It went full Terminator mode. And I had a guy made a comment about it, and I hadn't had any problems at the time when he made the comment, but made a comment, and I was just kind of throw it away because everybody has bad stuff, but mine literally doing the same thing his does. Well, after a long fight with Mercury, literally they weren't going to do anything about it. They said there's a recall, but they're going to replace the motherboard inside of it, but they don't have the motherboard. They don't know when they're going to get the motherboard, and haven't even started producing the motherboard. So much so that they actually stopped production of new ones because they did not have a motherboard. So literally I had a $2,500 dead in the water trolling motor. Couldn't use it. Took it down to the local warranty repair center, where there was about a pile of 10 of them down there. They wouldn't do anything. So after a little time, I called them back and literally threatened them with a lawsuit. And immediately upon threatening them with a lawsuit, they decided to give me a full refund for the purchase price. All I had to do was leave the trolling motor with them and give them my bill of sale, and they are sending me a $2,400 check in the mail. Full purchase price. That is crazy. It like threw me out of the boat. When it literally, one time, wasn't even touching the pedal, just took off to the side. And here's my thing. Everything breaks. And I could have took the fact that they had to have a recall. Stuff has recalls. Trucks have recalls. Everything has recalls. Happens. But the fact that they couldn't fix it, weren't going to fix it, didn't have a timetable to fix it, but they told me not to use my $2,500 trolling motor, is a little much for me. I just don't see where that's even a possibility. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Not fish? You got $2,500 invested in it. There's nothing you can do. I just leave it sitting there. And so this is about my last straw with these spot lock type trolling motors. I want to try a Garmin. That's $3,100. I don't know. Think about just taking the $2,400, stick it back in my checking account. And matter of fact, I'm going to buy a Fortrex. Now I'm putting a Fortrex back on the boat because it didn't break. Cable steer, operated every time. Nothing ever broke in the thing, ever. Worked every single time. Tough, durable. The Motorguide was supposed to be engineered to be tough. Took 2 years longer than the actual release date. And what we got from it was a Terminator type. But on the positive, they didn't ask for the mount back. Don't know what I can do with that. And the mount was awesome. In terms of, if you'd asked me before it messed up, I'd have told you it's the greatest trolling motor ever. Matter of fact, I bragged about it in 5 or 6, 7 videos. But when it messed up bad. And I think it's ridiculous that a company wouldn't want it. They didn't want to stand behind it. All they were saying, just take it to a warranty repair center. Sorry. They didn't want to stand behind it. I had to threaten them with a lawsuit to get any kind of satisfaction out of it, which is sad that a company as big as Mercury. So I wanted, and here's another thing. I said, maybe I'll get a Lowrance. Well, guess who owns Lowrance now? Mercury. So I'm sure Mercury will get their hands on this. And if they do as bad a job as they did with the Motorguide, they'll ruin Lowrance's trolling motors too. So as of right now, I'm stuck on the fence between a Garmin and an Ultrex. Can't get the Ultrexes right now. So I'm gonna stick with the Fortrex for a while. And if it doesn't bother me too much in the winter, I may just stick with it, period. It's just a little much for me right now. I'm totally disappointed in it. It's a lot of money. I waited 6 months to get it. And I'm sorry for the people who have bought one that took my advice. That I apologize for. Didn't know I was going to do that. And there was a couple guys that actually bought it based on my review. I'm sorry for that. But it sure went straight Terminator mode. This thing tried to take off and go on its own. If it was any bigger, it probably would have took over the house. So, last review on the Motorguide Tour Pro. Putting the Ultrex back on. Fortrex back on. It ain't messed up on me ever yet. I should have just went with the Ultrex. But then, they had a lot of problems with the motherboard on the Ultrexes also. So, we'll stick with the Fortrex for a while. It's going to be a little tougher during white perch season. But I think we get it done. All right, that's my last review. Now I'll make some fishing videos. I'm sick of doing reviews because apparently my reviews suck. I'm out. Peace.